Well, I might as well get this out of the way. The one Mac Pro upgrade I won't be doing is the PCIe card for the SSD because I dropped the screw. And I promptly ordered a magnetized project mat, but kind of late for this project. Oh well, better luck next time. All right. Now, the dual processor upgrade. Tray simply pulls out like that. Here's the new tray. First time going in. It's in there, and that locks it into place. Okay, now the graphics card. First thing we need to try to do here. Can't quite. Okay, we're gonna need to pull that out. Okay, moving that out of the way. There we go. Okay. And move that out of the way. Now, taking the graphics card out. Pull it out. Now, having done that, it will be much easier to remove the power cord. All right. These are both Radeon 580s. They're obviously not identical the same. This is an MSI card. All right. Slides in. Now, before we connect it, now the power's in. That's seated. Sorry, I know I'm in your way. Okay. Put that back into place. Now, we'll need to put this in. I know I'm just going to be completely blocking your way here if I do this, so I'm going to kill the video right now. And we'll be back in just a second. Okay, here we go. I hope this works. Boot chime. A little late, but it's there. Will you look at that? It's the boot screen. I've missed you, old friend. And here we are, Catalina. All right, yeah. That's the thing about the card. It's a Mac flashed ATI Radeon. Let's type around here. And there we go. Get Safari out of the way. All right. And get about this Mac up here. And there, 2 by 2.4 gigahertz quad cores. There's that. 64 gig of RAM. I do have more RAM coming up. We'll get that up so it equals the other machine. And graphics. Radeon RX 580, 8 gigabyte. So equivalent card to the other one. You know, I wouldn't have spent the extra money just to get the boot screen if it were not for the fact that this machine has technically reached end of life. Now, I'm hoping that DOS Dude 1 will continue to support these machines for a good long while with patchers. Catalina is patched in order to run here. I do not notice anything as being a problem. Alright, so I'm going to run some benchmarks and get a comparison between the single CPU 6-core and the dual 8-core, but we'll jump into a screen recording in order to do that. Alrighty then. Well, quick update here. I have managed to affix this by cannibalizing a screw from a different PCIe card that's not currently in the machine. I have attached the heatsink to this SSD, and we're going to try installing it in the other Mac Pro. Assuming that is successful, I will shut this machine down, take out that PCIe card, and attach the other heatsink. Since this is supposed to be a dual card, which is kind of useless to me, but it does have another heatsink, and that crucial SSD does run very, very hot. So, hopefully that is going to help things. We shall see. I apologize for not recording a lot of what was going on just then. I did put the NVMe PCIe card in to the top slot. I don't think that's all that exciting. What is exciting, we booted up very quickly into Catalina, and we see this warning in the middle of the screen: the disk you inserted was not readable by this computer. That's a good thing, because it shows the system is recognizing that there is another disk there. So we'll click Initialize. Now, what was supposed to happen is that disk utility would leap into operation, but that no longer seems to happen in modern OSs. So go Utilities, Disk Utility. SPCC M.2 PCIe. Oh, goody. All right, 1.02 terabytes. And we click Erase. We'll call it SPSSD. Now we don't want macOS Extended Journaled, we want APFS, GUID partition map, and erase. And bingo. The disk is mounted. Okay, crucial SATA, HGST. That's a 2 terabyte hard drive. Lexar. That's where the Mojave installation is located currently. Seagate 8 terabyte hard drive. This will be for long-term storage. And then, yes, there it is. Okay. So, we'll get rid of that. Now the next step. Carbon copy cloner leaps into action. Now we can forget that. Now select the source. We're going to select the crucial SATA. Select the destination. Now we're leaving safety net off. Files unique to the destination will be deleted. Well, there's nothing on the destination. I just formatted it, for heaven's sake. Okay. So, we're ready to go. And clone. Yeah, but there are no files and folders on it, and I know that. Off we go. Now, this should go very, very quickly. What I'm doing is copying the Catalina installation onto the PCIe NVMe card, M.2 NVMe. So that gives far and away the fastest speeds. And good heavens, look at this thing fly. Nonetheless, you know, we don't have to sit here and force you to watch your way through all of this. So I will end the recording at this point. We will move it all over, and hopefully the next clip that you see will be the Catalina desktop on the M.2 NVMe. Well, here we are once again in the Catalina desktop. It looks fundamentally the same. I made a couple of changes in there. But if you look at about this Mac, same old Mac Pro 2010 2 by 2.4 gigahertz quad cores, 64 gigs of RAM, 1066 megahertz DDR3, which is notably slower, and the Radeon RX 580 8 gig. Alright. But, very importantly, startup disk, SPSSD. Now, in looking at the different upgrades that have been done, I did a Geekbench, and here's a screenshot of the Geekbench score for the single CPU, and here's one for the dual CPU. Now, this is not really that surprising, since the single CPU is quite a bit faster. So if you're looking at the single core score, well, yeah, of course this is going to be faster. Interesting with the multi-core, the 6 cores with the faster processor ever so slightly edge out the 8 cores with the dual processor. Again, not that surprising, and the intention will be to upgrade the CPUs. That's an import from China. That's where you can get them at a relatively reasonable cost. but you gotta wait a while. All right, we can get rid of that now. Uh, the other thing that of course has changed, or one of the things that have changed, is the GPU, and I thought we could look at the metal scores of the two. This is the original AMD card, and this is the new card, which is slower, not horribly slower, but noticeably slower. And honestly, I'm fine with that. It has been such a joy just to see the boot screen. I have resisted the temptation to show that over and over again. I do think that's important. We're talking about a Mac here that is no longer supported. So we are dependent on the patchers, notably from DOS Dude 1. And hopefully he will keep patching this machine for many years to come. But there are going to be issues, and there are going to be issues where seeing that boot screen is going to be valuable. Now, if I want, of course, I've still got the other graphics card. I can just swap them in and out. If I really need the boot screen, I can put this one in. It's not difficult to do. So I think it's certainly a very fair trade-off, and I'm going to leave it in for the time being. All right, now, one other thing to look at. The Blackmagic disk speed test. Now, we're going to start that. And this, of course, is the boot drive. Whoa. Everything is working. Everything is good. 1273. 1474. Okay, I'm going to stop it. This can go on forever. Now, select the target drive. Let's have a look at what was the boot drive for this OS. Now this is where the SATA 2 speeds are really hurting performance. Real world, it's not a huge issue, but you look at this, you're looking at the M.2 NVMe as being a good 4 times as fast. Now you won't see that in boot times because the SATA ports become available to the computer before the PCIe. That's not a big deal depending on how much you do restart the computer. This, to me, this is a must. You've got to invest in this. Okay. Now, one other thing I was going to look at. This is Drive DX with the different drives that are connected. Let's open the application so we can see a little bit better. The SP SSD, 0 issues. Now look at the health indicators. And the one where there's a bit of an issue, the composite temperature. That's even with the heatsink on there. The Lexar SSD is the boot disk for Mojave, and yeah, the temperature is even more of an issue there. Okay, the Crucial SSD, and look at the health both indicators. Temperature, not nearly as much of a problem there. We're good. Now, the 8 terabyte Seagate hard drive. Looking good. Okay, again, airflow temperature. Temperature. That's an issue. Alright. And HST 2 terabyte. That's all looking good. Okay, temperature is not as much of a problem here. Now, one of the things to note, I have got the SSD right now in the top PCIe slot. I did that originally to get it away from the graphics card, but I don't think that graphics card is really running that hot. And what it does is to put it right underneath the Seagate hard drive. Now, yeah, the heat sink on there should help, but perhaps if I move that to a lower PCIe slot, that might actually help things. I'm going to experiment some and see what that does, because temperature, I mean, that can lead to drive failure. It certainly can. All right. Okay. So I think that's where we are right now. Generally, this has been a very successful run of upgrades. There'll be some more to come, and we shall see that as we move onward. Thank you so much for watching. You cannot imagine how much I appreciate that, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Take care.